Are you a beginner in calisthenics? My name is Viktor Kamenov and today I'll show you a planche workout that every guy who has recently started calisthenics can do. What you're gonna need is one resistance band and P-bars, of course. Yeah, so let's get started. Starting with a warm-up, we're gonna do around 5 to 10 minutes simple warm-up, starting from up to down, from the neck, going through the wrist, through the shoulders, waist, all the way down to the knees, and after that starting the base workout that will be specifically for planche. Keep in mind that this workout is also good for more advanced athletes. For example, for me, that's the typical workout that I'm doing in my rest day, more for activation instead of just laying down and taking a rest. So let's do the warm-up. Starting from the head, 5 to 10 times one side. Change the rotation. For today, what will be more important is the shoulder warm-up, the wrist warm-up, especially when we're talking about the planche leans. We need to have them prepared. Also, when you're doing handstand, over there it's even more important to get your wrist prepared. For the planche, it will be mainly about the shoulder warm-up. We're going down on the ground, changing the rotation, 45 degrees as you see, or you can do less, you can do more, but the idea is to feel slight pressure, even slight pain, but it's totally fine to have that pain in the warm-up, not so much during the skill execution. Okay, going up. For now we're doing everything with body weight, and then I'm gonna get the band and try to imitate the planche. We don't want to go directly to the planche, we want to do some moves that are having the same pressure. Okay, so now I'll be using the lightest band and I'm gonna find a vertical support. As you see, I'm putting it around that level. Now, getting inside, you think about going for a protraction, which means that you need to think of hiding your chest and activating those muscles here. You can go even slower. And even a better option is to use two bands, one per hand. Then after that, especially important if you're gonna train a front lever, something that I'm doing is protraction to retraction pull, which means from here, you lock your elbows, you open the chest, you close the chest. Open the chest, close the chest. Another one that is my favorite is this one. Go all around. It's great for the shoulder. This is one of the movements that got me back from my shoulder surgery. For sure, a band helped me so much to actually be back in the game. This year I've been traveling a lot, in general 14 travels, and I always have one band with me on my back, and I can do this warm-up anywhere. I do it in the airport, I do it in the hotel, I do it outside when I'm. That's the good thing about this type of equipment, because you're flexible. And if you get even a heavier band, then you can do your strength work as well. We're finished with the band. We're going down back on the floor. We're doing retraction to protraction with our elbows rotated outside. That's important. Open, close, open, close, and all the time you think how you're engaging the glutes and the core, and you're staying into stereopelvic tilt position. So let's try to make it. You see here. So now I feel better. I'll go for a few handstands. I'm always doing that thing as a last part of my warm-up. So I'm already warmed up and I'm starting with the base workout. It will actually include 4 exercises that I'll repeat 2 times. You can also repeat them 3 times depending on how you feel. When it's about the repetitions, I'll recommend for those who are doing these exercises for getting strength to do around 80% of their maximum. So for example, if you're capable of doing around 10 repetitions, then go for 8 repetitions or 7 repetitions, it's totally fine. But if you're doing it more for activation all day, you can go for even less percentage. For example, you can go for 6. So the first exercise will be the planche lean. what you want is the grip to be a little bit wider than the shoulder width. Yeah, and from here you go for a regular position like in a push-up. You rotate your elbows, you squeeze your glutes and core, go for posterior pelvic tilt position, and from here go as far as you can actually reach and your shoulder strength allows you. For those who are more beginners, there is no need to lean that much, but if you're more advanced athlete, you can go for even more lean. Then over here I'm doing 2-3 seconds of a hold, going back, 2-3 seconds of a hold, going back, and then repeating. Another option is to do it as a general hold, but most of the time I'm doing exactly this. I'm doing it more with the reps. Go back, go back, and it's important, as you see, to keep the protraction. You should not stay like this. You need to stay activated all the time. Now you can allow yourself to rest around 1.5 minutes, yeah, and then we're continuing with the other skill. Common question that I receive from beginners, and it's about how often you should train a planche. And what I'll recommend you is training around 3 to 4 times a week. No need for more because you're gonna get overloaded. Of course, under 3 trainings a week, it's still not a good thing because it's just not enough volume, yeah. So between 3 and 4 times a week. For those who are more advanced, of course, you can go for even 5-6 times a week. Over there, I can say that it's even better to actually have more days in which you're activated into the planche. And now enough talk, let's go to the second exercise. This one will be more for the core and the glutes. It's called hollow body hold. And usually in my activational day, rest day, I'm going for around 40 to 50 seconds, sometimes even 1 minute. And I also recommend for you, the beginners, to be doing something similar like this. So we're starting from laying down, and you think about how you're feeling that gap over here. Usually if you're on anterior pelvic tilt, which means this position over here, you have a big gap between the lower back and the floor. We want to fill that gap, and we're doing it by squeezing the core, squeezing the glutes, lifting the legs. Also here you can go for a protracted position and staying over here as long as it allows you, but again, I'll say no more than 60 seconds. You can put some additional weights to make it harder. I prefer having my arms over here. If it's too hard, you can also go like this. This one is better when we want to train more for a handstand. Next time we're gonna make the world record, but now we're going for the third exercise after resting again 1.5 minutes. Also another question I often receive, which is the best progression to go for a planche, to learn the planche. And the thing is that there is no best progression, and it really depends on your level. I mean, if you're more advanced athlete, you need to totally forget about advanced tuck planche, and tuck planche makes no sense to continue doing it. But if you're a beginner, of course you should apply a lot of focus over there, but also not counting only on that thing. That's why you have the resistance band that will allow you to work on the full length of your body, which means that you're gonna have the real lean, just like in the real planche. So definitely I'll say, if you're more beginner, a better approach is to go for both real length with the resistance band and also body weight tucked version. So now let's go to the third exercise. We're going for 10 to 35 kgs resistance band. This one is heavier than the one we did in the warm-up, yeah. And again, I'm getting inside. The difference here from the warm-up will be, first, that I have a heavier band, and second, that I'll be doing it slower, especially the negative part. And over here, it's really important to have a proper form all the time. As I said in the beginning, you're going for around 70-80% of your max. So let's say if you're capable of doing maximum 20, you can go for 16. It's also really important where you position yourself. If you're more far away from the bar behind, from the vertical support, it will definitely make the skill harder. That's why you need to fix yourself. It's really important to have a proper execution and to know where you're standing. Also, as I said in the warm-up, we're positioning the band around the level of the navel, pushing perpendicular to our body, just like the gravity is working when we're doing the planche. Okay, resting a bit and we're going for the fourth exercise. Another question that beginners ask is how long you should hold a certain progression, and I would say no more than 8 seconds. I mean, it makes no sense to be holding the planche for 20 seconds. Once you get the 8 seconds, you can think of already going for more advanced progressions like the advanced tuck. The same thing afterwards. Okay, and now let's go for the fourth exercise, which will be pretty much traditional exercise, plank, but this time we'll try to make it with a really good technique. So let's go. So guys, if you've already done the previous exercises properly, then you're not gonna have any problems over here, because the things are pretty much the same in terms of technique. We're talking about being protracted during that position, having posterior pelvic tilt, which means that your core and the glutes will be working, and staying over here. Don't do anything like this or anything like this. It's crazy even when I write in Google plank to see some photos. You see that half of the photos are like plank like this. We don't want anything like this. No, we're pushing, getting good core position, and then hovering. You remember the rule as I told you? Around 70–80% of your max, something like this. From time to time, from a training to a training, you can go for really testing your max, because you should know what is your max. If this one is too easy, also there are options of putting some weights on you. There are also some other progressions like this, but I'm a fan of the classical one. If you feel that you're losing it, push to the max. If you feel that you can't push anymore, then stop holding it. Makes no sense to hold anything with a bad form. So guys, that was the first set of that base workout. It's pretty easy. I'll go for 2 more. Yeah, and it's a really good workout for every beginner, and as I said, for those who are more advanced, to actually stay in a good shape when they're having a rest day, to have a good activation work. So guys, thank you so much for joining my training. Yeah, always remember to film your trainings in order to know what you're doing, whether you're doing it in a proper technique or not a proper technique. And as always, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and in the description of the video you'll find all products that were used in this video. All the best, until the next time.